I'm feeling so slay with my new hair. It's giving a gender. Hello everybody, my name is Tasmyn. Welcome back to my channel, TeaBooksAndTazmyn. Today I'm going to bring you a book haul, which I'm actually having to refilm because when I first filmed it for an hour and a half, I didn't have audio. And I'm fine about that. Today I am drinking green tea with rose in. It's Jess's tea, it's from Waitrose. I'm the first person trying it, I will let you know. And this gorgeous, gorgeous mug, which I got just before Halloween, is from TK Maxx. The first thing that I want to show you though is from a book signing that I went to last night, and that is Ghosts, the Button House Archives, written by the 6 creators and writers of BBC's Ghosts: Lawrence Rickard, Matthew Bainton, Jim Howick, Ben Wilbond, Simon Farnaby, Matthew Howe Douglas.
You said Matthew Howe Douglas.
Matthew Howe Douglas, thank you very much.
Just letting you know.
She's not called Matthew. Martha Howe Douglas. Oh, silly bee. For those of you that don't know the BBC show Ghosts, what are you doing with your life? It's my favourite show. It's come to an end. There is a Christmas special this year, and then that's it. Then they're done because they hate us fans apparently. I did a little TikTok about it, which I will leave linked down below, where I recapped the peak comedic conversations that were had. Also, someone confirmed that Matthew Bainton is vegan, so it just makes it all make sense. For context, go to my TikTok.
The way he got angry was definitely vegan, right?
Yeah, and you could tell that who was next to him, Larry, was like, oh, here we go again. The next couple I'm going to show you are books that I got with my friend Pam when she was visiting here from the States. We did a little bookshop crawl from Gaze the Word down through Bloomsbury to central London, and we ended at Foyles and Charing Cross Road. Again, I did a little TikTok, a little mini vlog of that, which I will leave linked down below. The first book that I got was in Judd Books, and that is a bookshop that's just down the road from Gaze the Word, so whenever I go to Gaze the Word, I always pop into Judd Books too. The cover caught my attention first. We love diverse mermaids. It is a poetry collection by Stephanie Burt about queerness, about queer identity and transness, and I'm very excited about it. The other book that I got with Pam was this, The Miraculous Sweetmakers, book 1, The Frost Fair, by my lovely friend Natasha Hastings. And look at those sprayed edges. Oh my god, it's on sale in my local Sainsbury's for like £4.50 and I nearly got it, but then I saw Tasha posting about this exclusive Waterstones edition and I was like, oh, well then. This is a magical middle grade book that takes place during the winter of 1683. People were ice skating and there were like little shops and stuff. Thomasina and her best friend Anne sell sweets on the frozen Thames amid rumours of the magical frost fair that awakens there at night. They say if you can find the fair, Father Winter himself will grant you any wish. And Thomasina has an impossible wish, the return of her twin brother Arthur. But once they discover Father Winter's kingdom, Thomasina and Anne realise that the frost fair is not what it seems, and that some wishes may never come for free. By the time that this video goes up, I should have announced that I am starting a middle grade book club. It starts in December and the December book is going to be The Frost Fair. The second one is coming out soon, ? And in the new year, sometime in the new year, Tasha's first adult novel is coming out, and that is a fantasy romance, and it's Natasha J. Hastings instead of Natasha Hastings. Natasha Hastings is for kiddywinks. Natasha J. Hastings is for sexy, sexy adults. I'm pretty sure they're all the books that I got with Pam. Yeah. Oh, no. No, there was one other thing. We went into Gosh Comics and I picked up issue 5 in the current Silk series. If you don't know who Silk is, her human name is Cindy Moon and she was bitten by the same spider as Peter Parker himself. It was announced that there is going to be a Silk TV series. I have no idea where that is in production terms, but like fingers crossed we get that one day. I'm not up to date, but I just had to pick it up. Next up are a couple of books that I got in TK Maxx. I was doing some early Christmas shopping for family members and I saw these in the book section. They have some banging classics. It's on brand, off brand, surprising. I'm always surprised by the beautiful classics that they have there. But now I've come to expect them to be there too. It's very exciting. So the first one I got is yet another edition of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, my main girl. If you don't know anything about this book, it is a Regency novel written and set set in the 1800s. Our main character is Elizabeth Bennet. She is the second oldest in a family of 5 girls. They're a very well-off family, but they live in an age where women can't inherit. And because none of the girls are married yet and there aren't any sons in the family, it will be going to some distant cousin. So, bitch has got to get married. Along comes the grumpiest of grumpies. Elizabeth is Sunshine, and he is very proud while she is quite prejudiced. This is like the OG comedic Grumpy Sunshine romance. It's so funny. Jane Austen's hilarious. I love this. I love this edition so much. It's one of the like flexi and oh, who are you published by? Paper Mill Press. The next book that I got there was another Jane Austen. This is Ang Gabi. I have not read this, but I will. This is like a paper cutout thingy-mabob, and it's printed by Harper Muse, which is an imprint of Harper Collins. Let me read you the blurb. Obsessed with gothic fiction, 17-year-old Catherine Morland is wintering in Bath when she encounters dashing gentleman Henry Tilney and the charismatic Thorpe siblings. Swept up by the high society she's found herself in, Catherine and her overactive imagination lead her into numerous comical misunderstandings with the Tilney family. Ang Gabi boldly and humorously explores society in Regency-era England. This is satirizing the Gothic, written at a time when Gothic literature was at its peak. A couple weeks ago, I went to MCM. I've already done a separate MCM haul, but I thought I'd show the 2 books that I got there as well. First is an arc of To Cage a God by Tazmyn-mei. She is the writer of the Falconer series, which I haven't read, but I've heard very, very good things of. It's one of Reagan at Peruse Project's favorite series, or at least like it was. She loved it at some point. This is Sapphic, which is all I need to know, quite frankly. Shall we read the blurb? Shall we? Using ancient secrets, Galena and Sarah's mother grafted gods into their bones. With their country on the brink of war, it falls to these sisters, raised as weapons, to take the helm of the rebellion and end the cruel reign of the royal family possessed by destructive gods. While Sarah reunites with her estranged lover who now leads the rebellion, Galena must infiltrate the Paris to expose the Empire's lies. In this world of deception and danger, her only refuge is an isolated princess whose whip-smart tongue and sharp gaze threaten to uncover Galena's secret. Is the secret homosexuality? That's always a juicy, juicy secret to uncover. And how gorgeous is this as well? I don't know if there's a final cover yet. If there is, here you go. The main reason that I went to MCM was because I was invited by Book Break and Black Crow PR to go to a Cassandra Clare event where she was talking about Swordcatcher. I got the Forbidden Planet exclusive edition, which is stunning. I'm sure all of the book internet has either read this by now or certainly knows about it, so I won't go into much. All I will say is that it's her first adult fantasy, and it's a high fantasy. She said at the event that in this world, queerness is commonplace, which is just beautiful. The next book I'm going to show you is a tiny, tiny little book that I picked up in Hatchards at King's Cross. I told myself that I was allowed this if I read it within the next 24 hours, because that's how short it is. I have not. Let me present to you The History of England by a partial, prejudiced and ignorant historian, aka Jane Austen. 10 out of 10 already. Brilliant title. Jane Austen, one of the nation's most beloved authors, whose face adorns our currency, surely needs no introduction. But while many are familiar with her groundbreaking novels, few have come across her short burlesque work, The History of England, which pokes fun at the overly verbose and grand histories of her day. Written when she was just 15, this is a comic tour de force that shows her wit developing into the satirical prowess that she is remembered for. So tiny. Bad person. How beautiful is that though? Ugh. I made my first TikTok shop purchase recently, and that was for the Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. I've recently got into romance for the first time. I haven't read any contemporary cozy romance yet, so I'm yet to know if this is going to be up my street. I don't know. I hope it is, but all of the romance that I've read so far are fantasy, so not sure. I'm optimistic, but we'll find out. The main character, Jeannie, has just been gifted the Pumpkin Spice Cafe by her aunt. She is Sunshine. There is a grumpy man there. Adventures ensue. Now, this is the physical copy of the Kindle book that got me into romance. I read this about 4 weeks ago, and it has changed my life. My new favourite author, Katie Robert. This is The Dragon's Bride, book 1 in the A Deal with a Demon series. He a dragon, she a human. They be doing the didgeridoo. And they be doing it a lot. Many of my friends love this book and love many books by this author. So one day I was like, you know what? It's like 99p on Kindle. Let's go. A day later, I'd finished it. I mean, it is very short, but I'm a very slow reader. I've now finished the entire series and I'm reading the Wicked Villains series by Katie Robert now. It's got me right the fuck out of my reading slump. Thank you. Thank you. Only read this if you legally can buy alcohol. If not, be gone. I got sent this book by Canongate, thank you very much. It is Black Ghosts, A Journey into the Lives of Africans in China by New Sarah Weworth. In this book, the author interviews many black people who are living in contemporary China. Her encounters include a Ghanaian cardiac surgeon, a drug dealer, a visa overstayer, a Nigerian pop star who sings in Chinese, and men married to Chinese women who speak English with Nigerian accents. If you don't know, I am Chinese. If you didn't know that, you must be new here, welcome. These next 4 books I got at Yalk. 5 books! I got 5 books at Yalk, turns out. The first one is a special edition of a book that I have not read yet because I suck, but I'm friends with the author and therefore I must collect every single edition that I can possibly find. And that is Lies We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood. This is the stunning Illumicrate edition. Illumicrate had a stall at Yalk and I gasped so loudly that all of the members of staff there laughed at me. The internet has somehow incorrectly decided that this is an Odyssey retelling. It is not. Let me read you the blurb. Death was only the start of her story. In the cursed kingdom of Ithaca, each summer brings the hanging of 12 maidens, a gift to the vengeful Poseidon. For 17 years, Leto has escaped the curse's mark, until now. But death does not claim Leto. Instead, she wakes on a mysterious island, greeted by the immortal Melantho. She tells Leto that Ithaca's sacrifices are the legacy of the great Odysseus, payment for the lives of Queen Penelope's 12 maids, cast into the ocean centuries ago. Leto has the chance to break the curse. She just has to kill the Prince of Ithaca. But Prince Matthias also seeks to free his kingdom from the curse. Torn by her growing love for both Melantho and Matthias, Leto must choose a path to follow. By breaking the curse, they will save thousands of lives. But if they fail, then the tides of fate will drown them all. This is what it looks like under the dust jacket. And these are the end pages. I want that as a print. Incredible. I'm so happy that I own this. Oh, I forgot to say, Lies We Sing to the Sea, Sapphic. I got one other book by Illumicrate, and that is Song of Silver Flame Like Night by Amelie Wen Zhao. And she and Sarah are friends, which is really, really cute. This is insatiably stunning. When I saw this online, I was like, oh, cool, great. Well, I want it. How may I obtain? Oh my god, I forget how stunning this is. Oh my god. Imagine you're sat on public transport across from someone just reading this. You're just there and you see someone like, doo-doo-doo. What the fuck? And these are the end pages. In a fallen kingdom, one girl carries the key to discovering the secrets of her nation's past and unleashing the demons that sleep at its heart. Once, Lana had a different name. Now she goes by the one the Atlantean colonizers gave her. She spends her days scavenging for remnants of the past, for anything that might help her understand the strange mark burnt into her arm by her mother in the last act before she died. No one else can see this mysterious mark until the night Jeanne appears in the tea house and saves her life. Jeanne is a practitioner, one of the fabled magicians of the Lost Kingdom, whose abilities were rumored to be drawn from the demons they communed with. Both Lan and Jeanne have secrets buried deep within them. Both hold the power to liberate their land, and both hold the power to destroy the world. Amelie Wen Zhao is an author of Chinese descent, and the next book that I'm going to show you is by an author of, I want to say, Japanese, Chinese, and Irish. Let me double check. Yes, Chinese, Japanese, and Irish, it says in the bio. And that is The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker. Kylie Lee. I like that a lot. Kylie Lee, that's beautiful. I hadn't heard of this, and I saw a beautiful Asian baddie on the cover, and I was like, hello, what? How have we not met before? This is an adult fantasy debut set in an alternate Tang Dynasty China. The principal rule of alchemy: you cannot create good without also creating evil. Jilan dreams of being a royal alchemist, escaping her impoverished town in southern China to make alchemical gold for the wealthy. But for now, she scrapes a living practicing an illegal form of alchemy, resurrecting the dead for a price. Then Jilan is offered the chance to travel to the capital and complete the imperial exams, facing a series of dangerous tasks that she'll be lucky enough to survive, let alone pass. The closer Jilan gets to her goal, the more she is caught up in the deadly games of the royal family, especially when the crown prince seeks her help, suspecting a coming assassination attempt. There are monsters lurking within the palace walls, and it's only a matter of time before they and the secrets of Jilan's past catch up with her. Then I picked up Belladonna by Adeline Grace. This is a YA fantasy that the lovely Amy May is obsessed with. It's been on my radar for a a while. Then I joined Book Talk. I met Amy May. I don't know what it's about. I just bought it because of her. Consider me influenced. I'm not gonna read you the blurb because it's late and I'm getting sleepy. But please do pause and read it yourself. And then the final book that I got at Yelp was This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi. This is book 1 in a trilogy. I believe the 3rd book is coming out soon. And here is the full blurb. I was visiting family in Chester on International Bookshop Day. I say that, it might be National Bookshop Day, I'm actually not sure. Anyway, we went to Waterstones because we're a big family of readers, and I picked up Melinda Lowe's latest book, which is A Scatter of Light. She is Chinese, she is queer, her books are Chinese, and her books are queer. I listened to about the first half of the Last Night at the Telegraph Club. I haven't finished it purely because ADHD brain sometimes just can't do the thing. The book itself is fantastic, so I know that I like her writing already. And here is the blurb. Okay, this one I randomly picked up one day in Waterstones Piccadilly because I'd seen it on TikTok the day before and I was like, I'm sorry, half swan, half human people. Yes. And that is Swanfolk by this author. I'm not going to attempt to say it because I will not get it right and she deserves better than that. It is translated from Icelandic and as I said, half swan, half human people. The fuck? As far as I'm aware, it's literary fiction, magical realism. I just remembered that I've had tea this whole time. It was too hot to drink at the beginning. Okay. Oh my god, that's lovely. Wow. Ooh, rose is my favourite scent. One of my favourite teas is English Rose from Whittards, which is just black tea with rose petals in and it's amazing. But sometimes you're not in the mood for black tea and you want a green tea with rose petals in instead. Cool, turns out I'm gonna become a little Waitrose slut. Oops. This book was a big kind of like, whoa, how? Godkiller by Hannah Kaner came out in this exclusive edition in January. These sold out so quickly, but Waterstones Piccadilly was like doing a big renovation and they must have just found a couple left in storage because when I went one day, there were 3 and I lost my mind. And even though I have a hardcover of it, like with normal plain edges, I was like, cool, this is coming home with me. Yes. Look at these end pages. I don't know if this is normal for the regular edition. My hardback of the regular edition is quite far away, so I'm not going to get it down to compare. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I believe there is a sapphic love interest character situation. It might not be the main character, but there is a significant sapphic something in here. And this is the blurb. Penultimately, I realised I did actually also buy this when I was with my friend Pam, who I mentioned earlier. This is a Waterstones exclusive edition of Sisters of Sword and Shadow by Laura Bates. The cover caught my attention because ladies with swords. Ladies with swords is always going to be a win in my books. And then I saw the sprayed edges and I just knew that she had to come home with me. I couldn't leave her there, it felt wrong. Laura Bates is famous for her non-fiction works about feminism and sexism, introducing the fantasy debut from best-selling author Laura Bates, an exhilarating tale of adventure, daring, and destiny. And I also believe that this is sapphic because, like, look at it. Once again, I don't know if it's a main character that's sapphic or if it's secondary, tertiary, or whatever, but there is sappicness in here, which is basically a requirement at this point for me to read a book. And finally, I ordered from the Broken Binding their exclusive edition of Bookshops and Bone Dust. And in order to get free shipping, I was like, well, I guess I just have to buy another book. So I got Frontier by Grace Curtis. It's been compared to Becky Chambers, and Becky Chambers is one of my favorite authors. The Wayfarer series is my favorite series of all time. And once again, look at that. This is a book that has been on my radar. I keep on saying that, a book that's been on my radar, but this has been on my radar for a long time. Let me show you it naked. So stunning. And then the end pages. I love purple. I believe the second book in the series is either out or is about to come out. Either way, there is more than one. And if this does evoke Becky Chambers within me, I will never shut up about it. And here is the blurb. We did it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you got this far through, post the stacks of books emoji because I have 3 stacks around me now. As I mentioned earlier, my middle grade book club should be announced by now, by the time you're seeing this. Tasha's book, The Frost Fair, is our first book. It is our December pick. Information will be down below regarding that. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're all well. Take care, and I will see you soon.